We have a special guest join us this morning, and he is no other person than the Attorney General and the Honorable Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Tanko Ashang. Good morning, sir. So good to have you join us.
Good morning. My pleasure to be here.
This is the second time we are having you in the space of about 60 days for that, more or less. So good to have you.
It's great to be here.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
I wish you the same. Thank you.
On Tuesday, we had some magistrates hitting the street of Calabar in protest over a 24-month salary owed them by this administration. And the public would love to hear the true position. Honorable Commissioner, what is the exact position and with the magistrates and their protest?
Well, thank you for having me and giving us the opportunity to clarify on these issues. Like I said when I met with the magistrate very clearly, that the recruitment process upon which they claim to have been employed was wrongly done. The magistrates, so-called, are not properly recruited. I'm sure you are aware that for purposes of government recruitment, there must be some proper approvals. And when I say approvals, I emphasize that government has a budgeting process. You have to budget for personnel that you're going to recruit in a particular year. You have to, receive those, review them through various channels. In this case, the Judicial Service Commission ought to get the needs, analyze the needs, and determine that we're going to take certain number of magistrates, and then get approval from all other processes, Accountant General, Auditor General's office, and then the governor's final approval before you can undertake recruitment. All these processes were not made. Now you must understand that the office of a magistrate or a judge is a very unique office. It comes with so much complement. It's not a regular recruitment. If you are recruiting a magistrate, you have to be sure you have a court where the magistrate will sit. You have to be sure you have vehicles for the magistrate, police orderlies for the magistrate, impress. All of that have to be factored into a budget. Then you get budget clearance and then all the necessary approvals along the line. This was not done in this case. And so our position has been that the magistrates, being lawyers, know the right thing to do. They know they are not recruited. So trying to confront the government or ambush the government is the wrong process. At best, what they should have done was to continue to appeal, to the good graces. And the challenge, of course, is that the recruitment issues are really, really very serious issues. They are both legal issues and financial issues. So I think the public must understand that the position of government that this recruitment was wrong, it was not properly done, and therefore government cannot be compelled to recruit this magistrate. They also know as lawyers that employment is not a right, it's a privilege. So you can't compel an employer to employ you. So those are the facts that must be out there.
Okay, and also on the public space, we have some people saying that His Excellency had approved 20 magistrates to be recruited, but the recruitment process went up to 40-something. And now the public is saying, some sector in the public is saying, okay, why don't you say the 20? We'll love you to clarify on that.
Well, it's clear that at no point did the governor approve any number of magistrates. If it's possible to say that considerations was made to the governor to recruit maybe 19 or 20, but there's no time the governor approved recruitment of magistrates. Because for the governor to approve, he must get all those recommendations from all the levels I've mentioned. None was done to the governor, so there was no approval for any number of magistrates.
Okay, so now, looking at the process that brought them in, what should be the way out for the protesting magistrates now?
Well, I said again during my meeting with the magistrates that because this governor is a humanist, because the governor has a very kind disposition to cross-variance, and his various policies put on the table, and all of those large recruitments he has taken upon. The governor has, within the shortest possible time, recruited over 30,000 people. If you add all the recruitment for teachers, non-teaching staff in primary schools, you add this 2,500 civil servants, that were also illegally recruited, and the governor bent backward to accommodate the 31 plus lawyers. He also took who were also illegally recruited. If you add the over 8,500 appointees and the 20,000 recruitment he has authorized, you know that the governor has taken a lot of much. You also know the lean resources of the state. The governor is doing so much At the time, other states are either paying her salary or downsizing. It's really a huge burden for him. I think the governor has stretched himself. But, as a humanist, like I said, the way forward is that we're going to continue to appeal for his graces to consider this their perseverance, so you can also extend your kind gestures to them and approve that we now regularize the process and, recruit them properly.
And as to serve as a deterrent, because we also had the governor complaining this same thing happened when about 2,000 civil servants were brought in, like the governor said, from the back door without his approval. And this is happening again to the magistrate. How can we stop future reoccurrence?
Yes, I think we're going to draw the line, and we have indeed. It's unfortunate that we still have to go and beg for this magistrate. But, we're going to, as a government, draw a line, and we have drawn a line. Henceforth, anybody who gets into the system wrongly, we will not just be contending with this issue. We will prosecute people. We're going to prosecute both the culprits who organize these schemes and bring these people into the system, and the people themselves who claim they are victims. You can't be a victim when you know the proper thing that is supposed to be done. So I think going forward, we're going to be more aggressive, and I think we have been patient enough and kind for people. We're going to be proactive as a government to ensure that people don't violate the laws and begin to be the ones who pretend to be victims.
Okay, so as the number one law officer in the state, what would be your advice to those magistrates while waiting for your good graces to speak with the governor of their matter?
Well, first is that they should please stay off the street. Look, demonstrating for what is right is one thing. Demonstrating for what is wrong is another matter. You're demonstrating for something that you know is not correct. Please stay off the street. Secondly, don't abuse government privileges. I tell you, they know themselves that it's unethical for a magistrate to stand on the street wearing his robe. The legal profession has been subjected to a lot of abuse. We are taking very stringent action at the level of the body of benchers, Council of Legal Advice, even the Nigerian Bar Association, to ensure that people maintain decorum and standard. So my advice for the magistrates is they should know better. They are judges. They should know better and maintain decorum while they continue to appeal for the good graces of the governor. I think that's a clear position. Stay off the street, maintain decorum, and appeal for the graces. Because this mistake has been made, and we are all in this logjam together.
All right, sir, before I let you go, you're the secretary of the Judicial Panel of Inquiry on NSAS and police brutality. What's the update for that?
Well, we've had many sittings, and the progress is on. I think we'll resume sitting next week, Tuesday, the 12th of January. We've received so many complaints. We have reviewed them, and the panel is still sitting to review them. Of course, we have a long list as we resume to continue to sit. Generally, the progress is good. People have been able to ventilate their pains in public, and I see some closure in some cases. Of course, we have had few challenges, technical challenges, legal challenges, issues of jurisdiction and all of that. But again, we're lucky to have a very good panel. I give credit to the chairman of the panel, who is a very erudite judge, and the other member of the panel is the judge, and all the other members. In fact, they have been very determined. We've sat long hours, we'll continue to sit. Again, all in the bid to ensure that we assuage the feelings of our people and right the wrongs that have been done.
Okay. How was the legal system fared? How did it fare last year in the midst of COVID-19?
Well, we had challenges. Of course, we had to, do a lot of social distancing in court sittings where now with different, where marks, the population was reduced. It was quite complex, but I think it was an opportunity for growth. For me, every challenge is a great opportunity. For instance, many of our meetings were conducted via Zoom, which became inexpensive because, for instance, many of the meetings that ordinarily I would have to travel to Abuja were cut down because from the comfort of my office, I can handle them through Zoom. In fact, I'm going to do a meeting tomorrow through Zoom because of the new restrictions. So for me, it's an opportunity for growth. I think we should embrace it. The world is changing in a very complex matter. All of us should be prepared for this new complexity. And the way out is actually innovation and technology. So I believe that we will continue to improve on our technological tools, both in the Ministry of Justice and in the court system, so that in future we'll be ready for eventualities like this.
Thank you so very much, Barr Tanko Ashang, the Attorney General and Honorable Commissioner of Justice across River State. Thank you, sir, for your time on the show.
Thank you very much.